Let not hate rule thy heart. Let not fear break thy will. Let not wrath cloud thy mind. Let not midnight stand eternal. Blades and Blasters presents Eternal Midnight by Rogue. This is Demon Gate, a fantasy setting filled with horror and grief. Keep your fires high, else perish in the darkness.
And at the end of days, the first sign shall appear in the heavens. Justice shall fall upon the world of men. The armies of light and shadow will clash across the fields of eternity.
You're on.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Demon Gate and Blades and Blasters. This is Rogue, the GM, and joining us tonight is Slip playing Keltiel, Tet playing Wrath, Matt is playing Yuya, and Ghost is the Hunter. And we should be joined by our Ranger soon. Walter Peck is playing Farth. The dream of the white tree came to Wrath the night before they fought the Flesh Guard. The night when the blood moon began and the 15th day of the month arrived. Sindogden is today. Also known as Sinday, happens to fall upon the Day of the Dead. A day normally reserved for the harvest and prayers to those who have passed. A day of mourning and yet a day of celebration for those who continue to breathe. Wrath hadn't thought on the dream much when he woke, for there was little time to reflect, and it was always the same dream. The tree emanating white light, the light of divine power. Was it some kind of path to the palace of eternal light? Ah, well, that name was new, he thought. A place he knew he had been to but didn't remember entirely. There was a large statue of a horse before the tree, too, this time. A place in the heavens, perhaps. The heavens, just like in the book he was reading about the faceless god. But whatever, he knew it was near. He could feel it, sense it somehow. The blade was near, she was near. Or could it really be her? Something did not feel right. Not totally aligned, perhaps it was a trick. No, he knew his path was true. This was the right way. He was gaining his powers back, and with them, his memories as well, were hidden in the ice. But the ice was melting away, and he knew it would soon be time to pull the pieces from it. Hunter, for one, knew he too was exactly where he needed to be. The hunter knew his nemesis was not far away, His brother, the foul and twisted soul he had become, was the cause of great suffering. To find out that he might be responsible for all of this just churned his insides. He cast a sullen glance toward the manor in shame and disdain, and could have sworn he was staring at him. He stopped sifting through the ashes for a moment to look. There in the tower, on the balcony, so far away up on the snow-covered hill, someone watched from the window that Keltiel used to stare at when she was young. As Keltiel filtered through some of the ingredients they had scored from the herbalist, she knew she had found some great items, great for working with, and great for crafting batches of potions and powers. There was still more inside, she knew. Some formulas for vials of thunder, truth serums, spell books on the shelf. She was very happy to find it all. A treasure for an alchemist, indeed. The enemy had placed that flesh guard there to watch over this treasure for a reason. That monster was meant to guard this place until they came back to collect in the night, perhaps, with their loot wagon. When they did, they would take what was left to the manor, or so Grill had said. Keltiel smiled as she looked over the notes. Perfect. She looked out the doorway towards Farthnar, who sat on the roof, across the way on the craft shop. He sketched something on a parchment. He looked as though he was using his own blood as ink for a moment. As he lay on the side of the roof in the shadows, hiding and scribbling like a scout taking down information. Then she looked over towards Hunter, who stared, unmoving, behind his mask, toward the direction of the manor. The hunter could feel these strange emotions. Some were too strong to bear, even to think of. The flashing images of the ones he had known and loved were shattered in the red snow. Just the proximity of his hatred focus was enough to boil up the memories he had tried so hard to bury under the remains of the burning dead. Hunter recalled laughter as he and his brother played as children together by a small pond, both with wooden swords, laughing and playing as the snow gently fell around them. His little brother would throw his hands in the air and control the very earth around them in his imagination, of course, shouting, I win, you are crushed." That laughter faded from his mind, though. The image faded with it, and the snow turned to ash falling around him now. It was a time long lost and very nearly forgotten. His brother always had to win, always wanted power. Perhaps he got what he wanted. Still, could he really have done all this? Yuya had touched Wrath to heal him for a moment. Then a flash hit him like a knife, a vision in a single instant, where he had pushed his blade into her, but for that brief instant she was Vengeance, the angel, his lost love, and for that same brief moment he could see the hilt of his own sword as it drank from her blood spilling over it. The horror gripped him in the vision, but the symbolism was not lost on Wrath. He knew they were connected now, and that Yuya must be protected. She was not Vengeance, of course. How could she be? Vengeance was strong, fierce, radiant. Her wings outstretched, shined, and her eyes blazed like lightning. She had decided to join with the blade, the only way to win the battle. That's right. The memory was there. He felt it. She would give Wrath a weapon in their last moment of defiance, so that he would be capable of bringing down the dark being before it destroyed everything they loved. The war against... that name was lost, still eluding Wrath, but the memory of his beloved Vengeance was strong. Her wings were damaged, laying upon the ledge, battered. Wrath landed next to her on that same ledge as the skies fell around them. She struggled the words out, "My love, this is the only way." As the destruction fell upon them, she would use the power of her soul to infuse with the holy blade, to make it hold enough divine energy to carve into the hide of the beast and pierce into its black heart. He recalled little of the devil, but the beast's eyes. There were many eyes, and there were many heads, tentacles writhing, black iron scales, teeth like blades. It flew on black tattered wings. It tore through the city gate, and Wrath looked away from her toward the destruction it wrought, his brothers and sisters being swiped aside, disintegrated by bolts of lightning, scorched by blasts of flame, giving their lives to defend the souls of the city, and fighting demons in the sky. Meteors rained through the stars, shattering the walls of the palace and breaking apart the floating mountains and towers. Wrath looked back toward her in desperation. She smiled weakly at him and touched his face. The longer he waited, the more destruction it wrought. The nightmare, the dark one, a manifestation from the blackest part of the void, turned to look upon him with a dozen eyes, and then the flash was gone. Yuya noticed the look upon his face, noticed he was lost in some deep memory perhaps as he stared into the magic of her white aura that enveloped her hands and his wound. She thought for a moment that she might have caught an emotion in his eyes, but she concentrated on her healing spell. Watching the blood and tissue regenerating at a rapid rate was always amazing to witness. The warm white glow of the protective mana at work, just like the brilliance of the moonbeam of Ghana upon the wound. It seemed to regenerate all the flesh and bone as if time moved rapidly, yet it always left the clothing still torn and the armor still cut. The executioner blade had bit into Wrath deeply, and although he wasn't fully healed, he would be fine. Yuya glanced over to see the large body of the flesh guard starting to fall apart and turning to ash even before it fully burnt. The black mana that once held the thing together wisped away in the cold wind, with the ashes and the sunlight just burning into the remaining parts. Perhaps this was all meant to be. Everything happening for a reason. It all leading up to this, and that is how the gods willed it. That they were all supposed to meet, and Hunter was meant to bring Wrath into that temple. Their fates were aligned for sure now. Keltiel's, Farthnar's, even all of them. Keltiel's ritual to bind her and her sister would only strengthen the blood bond they already shared. The blood of sisters was strong on the primordial plane, and the blood right had made it strong upon the astral one as well. All 5 of them had a part in this. Farthnar, he was not just a guide, not just a map maker for them, but in Wrath's vision, he would lead the survivors to the city of Hammerfall and save the lives of not just people of Skorraey, but generations after that. If indeed these visions were true and those kept on their correct path. You can all make out the hammering of the anvil, where Grill is finishing up some silvery weapon. It was loud, and they had tried to muffle the sound from his old shop as much as possible, but that did little good. You can see the Undar trying to help him. The face man seems to just guard the door, stepping out onto the open porch looking your way. Strange that just yesterday they were trying to kill you. Not for now, though. Not anymore. So how does this scene play out from here?
Yuya, after healing Wrath, taking a step back, looking over him, looking over Keltiel, hearing the banging of the anvil behind her outside. She retracts her hands, looking down at Wrath and smiling. She knows, based on everything that's happened so far, the words he said to her while they were downstairs for her to stay inside. She meant something. She was meant for something more. These words have stuck with you, yeah. And the proof of listening to Wrath, her power now amplified, being able to almost cut apart the undead easily on her own almost. Gave her power. She had purpose now. That she felt slightly tired, knowing she'd used up much of her mana. So with that, she finds a seat inside the hut. Doesn't know how long the making of the weapons will take, but she's going to take the chance to take some time to reflect inwardly and meditate, trying to rest up without having to use any of the bits and potions they already had.
Caltiel has been excitedly foraging through the old alchemist shop, sorting the herbs into piles, sniffing them, tasting one here and there, almost gleeful with the treasure trove of useful items they found. She packs as much as she can into her alchemist's belt, walks over to her sister, her hands full. Yuya, look what we have. Here, you take these. These and these. These will help you when you are feeling weak.
Yuya opens an eye, opens both to her sister. A smile spreads across her face as she extends her hands.
Thank you, sister. I'll make sure to give use of these.
And she takes a look at them, examining them.
So many useful things, almost too much to carry. The rest of you should come take a look. Take whatever you think you will use.
Wrath is standing before Yuya, his eyes fluttering between glowing and benign, as he thinks back on all his memories suddenly at once. They cut through his thoughts quickly, but in his mind it's as if he's stood there for hours. When Keltiel speaks, he seems distracted, turning in her direction. Yes, but he does not move to look at anything. He takes a step back, turns, and sits down next to Yuya, looking at her briefly, his face expressionless, but the corners of his eyes narrow, wondering, pondering. He says nothing, leaning back against the wall, watching the ash.
Keltiel just shakes her head in exasperation, walks over to Hunter, sees him staring into the distance. Did you see something?
Someone's watching us. He points over towards where he saw a face in the darkness from the tower.
You saw someone there in the tower.
Only for a moment.
Are you still thinking that it might be your brother?
I feel it. I know that it's him. Everything that I've heard so far tells me it's him. And he's rubbing his hands together roughly. Knuckle may crack here and there, and he continues looking at the tower. I have to go there.
Keltiel stands there for a minute, not knowing what to say. Eventually, she puts one hand lightly on his arm and says, "Yes, but you will not go alone."
Hunter nods and he stands up to go look over at the pile of things that were located inside the herbalist hut. Picks through and takes a couple of things that he sees.
Although Wrath does not appear to be paying attention, he clearly is as he joins the conversation a few moments after Hunter stands up and walks to the pile of goods. If we go there, we must do it in a show of strength. Once we go to the caves, I will emerge undefeatable. And then we can strike down your brother and all his minions of darkness.
What is in this cave that will make you undefeatable?
Vengeance.
What does that mean?
My sword. Powerful, imbued with a spirit of nothing this world has ever seen.
And you are sure it is in this cave?
It draws me. It is there.
It seems a bad decision to go out of our way, but if it is truly as powerful as you say, perhaps that is best. But undefeatable, I question that. Else, how were you separated from it to begin with?
He looks at Keltiel. That is a good question, and not one I can answer. You will see. You will see. That is where I go regardless.
You guys notice Farthnar crawl off the rooftop. He walks over and produces a small piece of parchment he's been scribbling upon. And without really any words, he hands it to one of you, whoever wants to take it. And then he heads towards the sound of the hammering on the anvil, towards Grill and the others.
Keltiel will take it first. She's been curious as to what he's been scribbling up there. Oh, look at this. He had a good view. And she concentrates on the map, trying to commit it to memory. Is this cave that you are thinking?
It's the rogue, it's the strange cave on here, is that correct?
Yeah. You can see that the roads, basically the paths, are in red, and the locations basically that you can go to. Yeah, any location pretty much would have to be, you'd have to pass that bridge somehow.
Yep.
I mean, you guys could try to cross the gorge. I mean, if
The
you had
river is not frozen, is it?
No, it's running pretty roughly through the gorge at the bottom there, but it's quite a fall.
Does that tent look familiar at all, or is that something I have no idea what that is?
Yeah, that tent is new as well. You haven't seen that. And from the looks of it, it doesn't look happy, like he drew it right there. It's not really color.
Yeah, there's not a circus going on inside.
Yeah, Wrath in response points down to the cave. Yes, here. I suggest we begin to start and scout the bridge.
Hunter looks at the map. We need to get our silver first.
After all the noise we've made making it, I think you're right.
Wrath suddenly realizes, he looks down and sees the sword is snapped in half on the ground. Ah, this poor blade was destroyed. A weak imitation. I will need something else besides this axe. He looks, just looking for a sword of some sort, or a one-handed weapon in general.
Hunter reaches into his pocket and pulls out a knife, and the blacksmith should have. You can hold on to this for now.
He just waves it off. If I need it, I will take it when we cross the bridge. For now, the axe will do. He stands up slowly. Shall we see what the blacksmith has been doing all this time?
Yes, the sounds have... Have they stopped? He might be done.
Yeah, you can still hear him over there hammering, and the face man is standing on the porch talking to Farthnar.
Well, we might as well see how long he thinks it. There might be time yet for him to produce a silver coated sword for Wrath if we tell him now.
Yeah, you notice the two of the Undar, both of them appear and talking to Farthnar. And you can see Grill comes out of onto the porch, and he seems to be worried, a worried look on his face, because for so long they've been trying to remain quiet, and been in hiding this whole time. So when he sees you guys, he waves for you guys to come on over. When you walk up there, he says, thankfully they didn't take everything. I found some items. This might be best suited for you. And he looks towards Wrath, and you can tell he's got a broadsword in his hand.
Wrath reaches out to take it. Once he does, he swings it a few times, testing the weight. Yes, it will do for now, until I have vengeance and my Elysium blade return to me.
He smiles and nods, and he says, for you. And he looks over to Hunter and says, a better bow, perhaps. And you can tell he's given Farthnar one already, a long bow. He says, sadly, there was only two. And he looks over towards Yuya, noticing her short bow on there, but I did take the silver that you gave me and coated the broadsword and several arrows. We have some barbed arrows, some bodkin tips for piercing armor, and I coated them all in silver here. And you can see he's got like 3 quivers full of arrows. He says it looks like they raided most of everything else, but a few items were hidden. And these, he says, I hid them under the floorboard with the broadsword, the throwing axes. There was only 12 of them, but I coated them in silver as well.
Ah, throwing axes. And Keltiel walks over and hefts one, tosses it to, into one of the boards on the wall. Sees it stick. I cannot take 12, but I will take a few of these.
Yeah, and those of you, I put them on your tokens there. So those of you with the throwing skills, so everybody should have their tokens upgraded. So Grill looks worried on still, and he's looking towards the tower in the manor, and he says, when do we leave?
That is up to Farthnar. He will be taking you. I think he is still making preparations. I'm not sure.
He will help us scout the bridge before you go. It is fine to wait a little while longer. It is ordained that you should be safe. If all is well and my will is done.
Keltiel just rolls her eyes at that last statement. Well, and you know what they say, the gods help those who help themselves, so we must be cautious.
Grill looks towards Keltiel and tries to offer a smile, and he nods. I can tell the others perhaps before nightfall, maybe, we would be leaving. Well, I hope the weapons do you some good. And the gods be with you.
Thank you, Grill, for your efforts and for showing us shelter.
It is no problem at all. If you need anything, I will be with the others.
And Keltiel just nods. Heads back to the alchemist's hut to check on her sister and kind of wait for everyone to be ready.
He is still sitting there, eyes closed, seemingly not bothered by anything. She's got a bit of relaxed look on her face, slight smile as she sits there.
And Keltiel just sits next to her and kind of smiles, watching her there with her eyes closed. I don't want to interrupt you, but that was quite something.
Yuya opens an eye. You can see the twitch of her mouth kind of go down slightly as Geltiel starts to talk, but the smile creeps back on her face after the prayer.
Oh, thank you, sister. I'm mighty impressed with myself.
She looks down at her hand.
I didn't think I could do that.
Well, they say Ghana does not look upon those who meddle with the forces of death with favor. I'm sure she strengthened your spells according to your faith.
I actions for her last night. I guess they were the correct ones.
Keltiel just looks a little confused.
Oh, not going outside. Stay.
Oh, yes. As I was saying to the others, the gods sometimes, I think they help those who help themselves. They expect us to exercise our common sense sometimes, too.
I though. Ever since Wrath came around, I have been feeling myself become more in tune. I don't think I've felt this powerful before in my life.
Well, there is not always so many opportunities to, I guess we can call them growth, but things are so precarious right now. I think it pushes us beyond our limits.
And while I wish to not run into much more of this, I do feel a sense of empowerment from it all.
Well, I am glad that you are finally feeling your own birth.
Yuya smiles wide.
Though it looks like I'm not going to be able to meditate anytime soon.
I'm sorry.
It's fine. We can test these new things that you found.
She looks down at the what is it? One of the mana shards, and she kind of cracks it, and then sees coming out of the shard, basically a flow, this overflow of mana, go from the shard, swirl around her arm and into her chest. She looks to be a lot less tired after that. She kind of sits back. That was... Oh, goodness.
Totally told me you were going to pick
What's
the
wrong?
Oh, that shard really worked. I'm feeling a lot better. Maybe I can heal her off some more.
You can probably take a pause on the meditation.
She kind of hops out of the sea.
Yes. If you think that's best. If not, I will try to keep things.
Keep things what?
Oh, never mind. If you think that there will be too many distractions to continue in your meditation, then you're probably right.
I do love you, sister, but you do like to talk a lot.
I'm just excited. I'll just sit here and be quiet.
No, I'm gonna head out, see if Wrath needs anything else.
And she smiles and heads out of the alchemist hut.
Wrath is standing outside, inspecting his new sword. He swings it a few times and replaces into the scabbard, turns and sees you walking out of the alchemist's hut. He doesn't say anything, but looks at her as she's walking closer.
Yuya waits until Wrath has sheathed the blade before she gets too close. Standing there and approaching afterwards again with a smile. She's looking a lot less tired than before.
Oh, I see ya. Got a new blade there?
Only a temporary tool, flawed, made by man, but it will do for now.
Yes, we don't need you hitting anyone with any broken blades. Hopefully this one doesn't break.
It will only be a while longer that it is required. My Elysium blade is indestructible.
Oh. Well, that's in them caves there, isn't it?
But there is something more. It holds something very precious to me. Something the gods will to manifest once more. We must get to those caves, Yuya.
You said... I remember last night.
Your destiny lies within.
She smiles.
I'm looking forward to it.
He smiles. Yes. Yes. As am I.
Again, Yuya looks up at Wrath, looking him in the eyes with a wide smile on her face before her eyes go down to some of his slightly closed wounds.
Oh, you need any more healing or anything like that? You still are a bit banged up from that last fight.
Yes. He pulls up his shirt to expose a wound on his chest. You see various runes there.
She takes a moment before, again, putting her hands on him. And that white light from before emanating out of her hands there. And repairing the wounds, so hopefully I don't roll a 1. Oh, good. I forget if I was supposed to multiply by anything. Crap.
What's that?
For healing, I forget in that instance, what to or, oh wait, no, that's just a cast.
Yeah, success. And then for spell effect, you would put 5 for the power.
I believe I'm full.
So yeah,
All wounds closed.
there's this the white light just sort of explodes out of her hands and wraps around Wrath. His wounds quickly stitching together, but the light still remaining even after they're fully healed. And afterwards, she kind of takes away her hands and kind of shakes them off. Oh, I think I did a little bit more there than you needed.
You grow in power, the Maker. Yes, you are given gifts. As you destroy that abomination, you grow in strength. Your piety is unmatched. Your faith in the God. The Maker will bless you. Soon you will reach your zenith.
The moon goddess does grant me much. I will say that, though. Maybe sister has a point about all these trials and tribulations we've been under. After yesterday, I didn't think it was possible for me to have this type of power. Not until you came.
It is destiny that we are put together here. You and I, we shall destroy the darkness.
I make sure it remains in the shadows from now on, instead of out like this. She'll kind of gesture around the city. This is whatever it is. Need to exercise this place, cleanse it, destroy whatever is destroying this town, these people.
Soon you will have the power gifted by the Maker to do just that.
You can see Yuya, her face always twitches when he mentions the Maker. You can see her kind of rewriting it almost on her face.
Yes, I'm looking forward to see what Ghana has in store for me.
He places a hand softly on Yuya's shoulder. We are close. Let us grab Fothnar. It is time to go to the bridge and scout. See what we must do to cross.
Yuya nods and will follow on the heels of Wrath as he heads to Farthanar.
You notice Byrne and Faceman are still talking out there, kind of right next to Farthnar, and Byrne looks towards you and says, I wanted to say many thanks. I must leave, and thank you for saving me. And he pats the other guy with him, and that guy nods to you, speaking far less than he does. They both nod their thanks to you and praise.
And who are they talking to, sorry?
Basically, when you guys get up there, talking to you and Wrath and Farthnar, all for basically letting them live, you know.
Yuya just nods, bows her head a bit.
Of course, if there's no reason for you to die, then the gods must have some sort of plan for you. We do hope that you keep these people safe. Make sure these townsfolk get to where they're going safely, and you remain in good health as well.
Byrne, he nods, smiles, big toothless grin, and looks towards Hunter, and pats Hunter on the shoulder, and says, I am glad you did not kill me in the hut. And good luck to you. And whatever gods you pray to, may they watch over you.
And Hunter just kind of looks at him, nods, and you should get moving.
Byrne nods, and they turn around and start off to go find a grill.
Farthnar, after they leave, kind of shakes his head and kind of mumbles, I've been hunting them for so long, it's So odd for the enemy of my enemy to become my friend.
They might not be friends yet.
They're not the most noble or intelligent tribes, but I think even they're smart enough to realize a common threat that neither of us can take on alone.
I hope so. But people haven't been so understanding before.
I was one of them, I freely admit, but if I can see, hopefully others can too.
Hunter nods, and we have to cross this bridge. We have to check it out.
It's not going to be easy. I saw in the guard tower at least 4 individuals. There could be more. I couldn't see for sure. I didn't see much, but I did notice a banner. It's not of Skorraey. I'm not sure what it is. And Farthnar will kind of retell as best he can what the banner looked like the imagery of it.
And can everybody see that?
Yeah.
Yeah, the banner is very similar to that. And if anybody wants to, they can try to make a intelligence check. Talking down a 10.
Can I use astral sight against that?
No.
How do we all roll so low?
By rolling 4-1 on every dice roll except for Farthnar's.
Yeah, jeez. Looks like Farthnar knows more than he's playing dumb.
What is this? These ones.
The circles often represent, you've seen this in before anyway. Similar kind of symbols where the circle represents the stars, Eos and Set, the 2 suns. The symbols seem to have a cross upside down, or maybe an X slightly bent to the side. The dagger stabbing the suns, maybe the eclipse or the convergence. At the moment, you don't remember entirely what the symbol is, but I'll whisper you something new as it comes to you. And you guys are going to have to make a plan too on whether you want to cross the bridge now during the day, or if you want to wait, or whatever you guys want to do.
I want to cross during the day.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Nighttime's not an option.
Yeah, it's pretty early in the morning still, right?
Yeah, it's not even high noon.
Yeah, Wrath, but it is time. We cannot waste valuable moments of daylight. To cross during the night, we will be swarmed by these beasts.
I agree we should cross at day. The question remains, how do we get close? Their numbers are almost as great as ours. They have a superior fire position. We have a narrow way to cross the gorge.
Hunter starts looking around and scratches his chin. How wide is the bridge, Farthnar?
The bridge is probably about 60 feet.
Now, did we have the wagon still that
No,
they
it's
brought
gone.
into the town? That's gone.
Avis drove off with it.
Took it up to the keep.
No, I thought they whatever you want to call them come down into the town to scrounge for supplies. Or am I imagining that from last episode?
I think they do, but I don't think they left anything behind, as far as I know.
No.
Grill was talking about last night. Yeah, the wagon. They'll bring it down. They'll bring some covered wagon down, and they like loot the town for the night, and then they take it back up to the keep. So yeah, it's gone. It was gone by the morning.
Okay.
Wrath asks, "Do you know what the tower is made of? Is it wood?"
What's it made out of? Is it simple, just like wooden watchtower?
The entire manor is a lot of stone. There is wood components too,
I'm
though.
talking more about the guard tower on the bridge.
Oh yeah, the guard tower is wood,
Yeah.
mostly wood.
Farsner is kind of looking off into the distance, and he kind of realizes, yeah, it is wood, and kind of looks over to Keltia and looks down to her hands and goes, we might be able to smoke him out, get him down, get him on equal ground before we try and cross.
Keltiel, from where they are, tries to determine how far away she could possibly do this from. Could she do it from across the bridge?
Your range is about your willpower in inches, so it's your willpower times 5 feet.
So that's 18 times 5 feet. I just don't know exactly how wide the gorge is.
I think you said 60 feet, right?
Yeah, I
It's
think it's
wide though.
I think it's 20 Keltia hips. As Farthnar, as he's looking, goes, and one more thing. You might know of someone called the Arbiters. Does that ring any bells to any of you?
No.
Necromancers. They were hired a long time ago to help stop the Pale Plague. I think that symbol on the tower is there.
That does not sound good.
Considering they were disbanded, I would tend to agree.
So, I think I could probably burn that guard tower from across the gorge. They might shoot at me, but perhaps we can find some cover, and it is a bit of a range for them.
I will protect you with my shield if need be.
There's one thing to consider before we do this. Setting a guard tower on fire is going to draw a lot of attention. Not that they won't instantly sound an alarm if we do it another way. It's just something to consider.
The only other way is to go across the gorge and not the bridge. I do not see that as possible.
Unless your wings have grown back, Angel, I think you're right.
Hunter is gonna look at some of the doors that are nearby, actually, and kind of scratching his chin. Let's see. All these doors are wooden, right, Rogue?
Yeah.
He scratches his chin, and we do have to make sure we could advance across the bridge. It would be a bit tough for a few of us. We might be able to take the doors off the hinges, walk them across in case they fire on us.
Aye, that could do nicely.
I can heft the doors off their hinges with this. And he takes the huge axe, kind of just waves it about.
Careful with that.
Neat. So, do we set it on fire and risk an alarm? Or do we cross the bridge without the fire?
Will they not sound the alarm if they see us cross regardless?
I say fire simply because it might create a little bit of confusion and give us a bit more time.
And it would force them out.
And then you two can shoot them as they are fleeing.
Perhaps a combination. We can set the guard tower on fire, but then they can still stand outside and shoot at us as we cross the bridge if they get down in time. So perhaps we would still want some of those makeshift tower shields.
I guess it's suppose that's on you, Kelt. Where you can set the tower on fire. If you can set it on fire on top, that'll prevent them from firing at us, and they'll have to spend time getting down to the bottom of the watchtower, giving us time to cross the bridge.
Well, should be pretty easy to determine where the fire starts. Do we want to make any other preparations, or should we go ahead with?
I think this plan will do.
All right, then.
I think a makeshift tower shield would not be a terrible idea.
Aye. Even if maybe there's some on the ground already, maybe if they're lower, they can get out sooner. That way someone can carry the tower shields and we can fire out from behind it.
Standing behind it while I use the magic is not a bad idea.
No, and I can probably use the, depending on what we're facing, most likely the bow.
What we fight won't end up fleeing. There are probably some that live within their ranks, but most of what they have will be comprised of the dead.
If
It will
it is,
fight till it burns to death again.
if it is the arbiters that are here, then that would be as safe as some.
If we kill them, the easiest way is to simply pitch them off the bridge. Even if they arise again, they will not harm us.
I use the shields if they come straight to us to push it off.
Well, we'll lose daylight as we speak. Let's get a couple of these doors down.
Wrath just walks over to the nearest door and just chops at the hinges to try to take it off with the axe.
Yeah, you easily dismantle a couple. You guys want to take like two, maybe?
Yeah. Hunter will shoulder his bow and carry one of them, 2 hands.
Yeah, Wrath will carry his. He try to find rope and make like a makeshift arm. I don't know what you would call it. Holster. Yeah, just so he could put his arm through. Hold it like a massive real shield, but yeah.
Yeah, there is a one of those seed shields. Pretty much, that's what I'm gonna figuring that it would operate very much similar to. Also, there is some rope. Grill forgot to give it to you guys, but it was hanging on a post in the outside of his armor shop, and it's about 100 feet of rope with a grappling hook too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Hunter will try to affix some rope to it as best he can. Maybe use the knife to punch a couple holes through so we can get the rope around so it's secured. And then we'll try to rope in some holsters. For himself, he's actually just going to make two for it because he's not very strong, so he needs to just use all his focus on carrying the shield to start with. So he's going to make two grips, but he'll make one for Wrath if Wrath just wants one for his arm.
Yeah,
We'll
Wrath will let you make it. He just kind of looks at it, and if he's trying to make it, it would probably just wrap the rope around it. Not do anything very smart with it.
So I'll try to fix that. I don't have crafting or anything, so that's just a straight intelligence roll if I'm correct, right?
Yeah, if you have an armor skill, if not, go off of intelligence. See how good it is.
Can we get Grell to do it for us?
Yeah, you could take it down there and he could set it up for you guys.
Farthnar might have some luck with an intelligence roll. You jinxed it, damn it.
He's like, no, loop it over here, and no,
Here, maybe I can help.
Oh, these people.
Let's have us all strike out. Yeah, we're gonna fix it till it breaks.
Slightly better. Maybe up here instead.
Wrath hooks it up.
Yeah, Wrath is watching everybody do it, and he looks at his own shield and thinks about times when he's always used a shield his entire existence, and he's able to help Hunter and Farthnar assemble them in a way where he can hold his and Hunter can carry his with two arms. He awkwardly holds it on his left arm while he throws his real shield over his back. And this is strange, as he has this massive door on his arm.
Yeah, and it is quite heavy too, which probably would take two hands to, if you would, but you could cover yourself and one other person.
Yeah, he's not worried about fighting hand to hand with it. If that comes, he's going to drop the thing, obviously. So probably.
I was gonna say, yeah, you can provide the melee can provide the cover while the bows and the casters do their.
Once the shields are set, let's go. We're wasting time, and he starts just walking towards the bridge.
Yuya follows behind.
Farthnar's gonna draw arrow and knock it in his new bow and kind of fall in behind the makeshift shield and put himself in a position to try and shoot when needed.
And Keltiel catches up, starts rubbing her hands together as if getting them warmed up.
Do you guys want to try to sneak up as best as possible?
Yeah, I want to stay back as far as my 90-foot range will allow.
Okay. Yeah, and that's where Farthnar is. You can hit the tower from where he is.
Well, In that case, once our cover is blown, that what's his name, Raug, will be the first one to get a shot at.
Everybody go ahead and, if you don't have the concealment skill, just make a perception check.
Do our ranger? Why do I, for some reason, remember ranger cloaks doing something with it?
Should be on your sheet. I know there's something you can do to use frenzy to boost those rolls. I don't know if you can use it after the roll or not. But cloak might if it's copy pasted, and I'm not sure what cloak does offhand. Yep, adds 2 levels per rating while in a wilderness setting. So your dice rating could be higher. I don't know if this is considered wilderness or not.
Yeah, you could use that. Let's see here.
Roll, I think it's let's see, 2d8 goes to.
That's what I'm looking at right now.
I think it goes to 2d10, right? 2 rating.
It'd go up to.
Yep.
It'd go to, what is it, D10 plus D8? Or
D10 plus D8 would be 1, and then the additional would be 2D or D12. No, not D12 plus D8. It'd be.
Yeah, that's right. D10, D8, and then 2D10.
Yep.
So you want me to roll that or just save it for next time?
Yeah, you could do that now.
I think I messed that up. Or I sucked even more.
No, you sucked even more.
Yeah. He goes, man, I'm going to use this cloak, and then he tripped over himself.
It might kill you, dude. As you guys are moving up there and creeping up the doors in hand and stuff, and slipping between the trees or the houses at first, you start to get over to the ledges and the kind of the uneven footing of the snow. There's some trees to hide behind, but you can hear shouting already across the way at the gorge, and you can see a couple of the men pointing and starting to move into action, shouting out warnings to the others. Somebody's been seen already. We can go ahead and do initiative if you like and see, or what do you guys want to do?
I think initiative is appropriate because I'm going to start setting things on fire.
Yeah. Farthnar's going first.
We'll be doing a power shot at Raug. So the modifier is 2 because it's the power shot. I think I got this right.
Okay, and this is a Deadeye shot at Raug.
Yes.
And this is a pretty long range too, so there'll be bonuses to defend. And he's got a little bit of cover due to the tower there.
Oh boy.
Hello.
First arrow hits the wall of the tower.
reload and then a regular shot.
Oh man.
Yeah, just barely. All right, and that'll be it for you. I think it's Keltiel. Yeah, all the bad guys
Okay.
are coming up as Avos. Okay. Oh, nice. Natural 20.
Yeah, and she's just aiming for basically center top of the tower.
Well, it definitely works. The center right here bursts into flames along the wall. And then what would you want to do?
She'll do it again.
Oh my god.
It's another nat 20?
Yeah, but crappy on the damage.
Oh, nice. Okay, the tower is definitely on fire. Both of those are an additional ×2 damage. So the first one was 60 or 70, 36 times 2. Math.
72.
72 and 16. Okay. Flames erupt on that. What's that look like?
Keltiel ducks down, trying to find as much cover as she can. But she inches forward, trying to feeling out with her magical senses, where this is going to begin. And as her eyes narrow, and the tips of her fingers glow red, and then up to her wrists, and suddenly the red disappears from her hands, and instead flame and just a huge column erupts from the edge of the top of the tower, quite close to the people that we can see who are noticing us, and then a second one, not quite as large, but noticeable, slightly behind that. She gives a little whoop of yes, and then steps back and starts taking a deep breath. It took a bit of effort.
All right. And Yuya's turn?
Yuya's gonna wait until Wrath moves up before taking her action. Possible just basically move her turn order after him. But she does look to Keltiel.
Great job, sister.
She turns around and gives a quick grin.
Wrath's turn.
Wrath won't move up too far. He will just start moving, but he gets to about right there and stops and puts the shield up. Remain behind me. And he will stay there for now.
And then it'll be Yuya's turn.
Yuya, kind of expecting Wrath to move up further. She just gonna take a step up to where he was. Can she see the guys in the tower still standing there right now?
Yeah. The one and both of the two that are on top seem to be baffled, shocked by the flames that erupted up there, and seem to be afraid of it. They don't seem to be acting like undead either. They don't look like undead from here.
Yeah, she'll Take an action, knock an arrow, and second action to fire. I was gonna find it.
Oh, nice. And Yuya.
By
The
the
warrior.
power of the Maker.
That's a hit.
She is impressed, kind of closes one eye and fires over Keltiel's head into Raug up there.
And that'll be actually 22.
She lets go of the arrow, lets it fly, and it impales into his shoulder, locking in. And yeah, seems pretty satisfied. A smile spreads across her face. Hi, I hit him.
Of course you did.
Sorry, I lost you for a second.
I think she said she hit him, and I said, of course you did.
Okay. And Hunter's turn.
Yeah, Hunter looks over at Yuya and well done. And then he'll just start moving up with the shield, just kind of hefts it, grunts, and his right shoulder pulls a little bit, but he steadies and then keeps moving forward. And just kind of plants it as he moves along. And he's just going to try to follow in step with Wrath so their shields kind of stay together-ish.
Shield wall that thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You notice the bad guys on top, Raug, one that got hit by the air of awesomeness, stumbles back and falls onto the ground and then kind of rolls away from the fire. He takes up the other one with the red paint on his forehead, takes an arrow and tries to fire from the corner of the tower. He's going to fire it down either. Let's see. I'm going to make a d6 roll and see who he's firing. Looks like he's firing at Keltiel. Keltiel has some cover behind Wrath's
I would also
door, right?
use shield ally too.
Cool.
So my shield bonus will be added to her defense, I believe.
Cool, thank you.
I don't know what my shield bonus is with this massive shield. My normal shield is where is it?
You'll be able to add 4 to her bonus. So when the modifier comes up, Keltiel can put 4 in there.
I spent my saga point to do that.
And I'm going to take his modifier from the long range.
Maybe I won't do it.
What?
Yeah, I don't think you even need it.
Yeah.
That's farce.
He just fumbled.
Shoots himself.
The arrow just kind of wilts like a noodle.
Imagine shooting yourself. What?
Malfunction. He does one of those punches myself in the face. His arrow kind of gets mixed up in the in the middle of the bow, and the arrow drops to the deck. He's definitely not going to take another shot. Totally befuddled by this whole thing. And another one is run the tower as well. You notice 2 more running this way. And one of them starts to cast a spell, and he's in the middle of casting right now. He's not going to be able to finish the action yet. So it is far.
All right. Let's see. Action 1 will be to knock an arrow, and then we'll do another Deadeye attack.
Shoot that spellcaster.
We'll shoot at the caster.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
You get to add an extra +2 from your Deadeye. Okay. Do you edit it in there? Cool.
Yeesh.
Yeah. We're getting the bad ones out of the way early.
He's in the middle of casting.
It's a single digit.
Hey, it's a
I knew
hit.
it was a single digit at least. It took a while.
All right. So. Oh, okay.
What? Oh,
That's a kill.
nice.
What's that look like?
Farthnar, having all kinds of issues with his cloak getting in his way, shoots a shot off, and while the individual's casting, he makes an attempt to duck, only to duck right into the trajectory of the arrow, hitting him dead center in the face, causing him to collapse instantly onto the ground. Dead.
Nice. And is that it for him?
That yeah, he'll just knock an arrow, and that we'll call that a success before I roll crap.
All right. And Keltiel's turn.
She had just raised her hands, seeing and hearing this chanting coming, and her fingers were just starting to glow when Farthnar's arrow hits this Gelt in the face, and he falls over, and she pauses for just a second and looks back, but then tries to refocus on the gore. I think he got me there. Okay. Well, she'll give it another go.
And yeah, he's running at full speed across the bridge there. Farthnar, you noticed too that this one isn't. Most of the ones you've been seeing been humans.
All right, we got him there.
No, it's not Avos this time. That one catches onto him.
Yeah, and he's on fire. I think I'm gonna save my mana, so that'll be it for Kelt. She'll duck back behind the tower. Once we take him down, we should start moving forward before the others have time to reach the bottom of the tower.
Wrath turns around and nods. Follow me. And he begins to walk his 4 hexes.
And if you want to, I mean, you could run if you wanted to.
Sure.
That way you can go 8.
There you go.
Oh, geez. And you guys are behind a boulder there, too. All right, Priestess.
Yuya is going to run and follow Wrath. And she will aim at Gore there and fire at him as well. Do I take any negatives from running?
Yeah, -2. Unless you have a... I think Hunter is the only one that has it. Running shot.
So she runs up behind Wrath, quickly knocking the arrow. And as she's running, she fires, but goes wide. The arrow sticking into the ground of the bridge.
All right, and Hunter.
Hunter will also run up. Carrying this massive door. Making sure to screen off. When he gets to that point, I'm actually going to take the dagger out and hold that in one of my hands as I'm carrying this, no matter how uncomfortable it is, just because I know, having seen this guy, he might make it to us and might have to be ready to fight him. So I'm going to hold the dagger in my hand as I'm carrying.
Nice. And then the baddies. As the fire spreads, I should make this bigger. Starts to consume the top there. Now the guy's kind of trapped up there because he didn't take off. Like he was supposed to. Kind of fuddled around up there. He's not actually going to attack, but try his best to climb down the side of the other side of the tower. I'm going to go ahead and make his climbing check.
Whatever you do, don't fall into the gorge, bud.
He doesn't have the skill climbing, fortunately, so it's going to go off of his dexterity. Oh, he maxed.
God.
He's Jackie Channing it down the side of the tower over there.
Makes an awfully nice target.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like the other two have gotten down. Not a really big tower, but one of them pops out of the doorways over there. The orc is the only one left on the bridge, and he's charging towards you guys with his curved orcish made blade. Kind of a crude weapon. He actually does make it towards you guys, so I'm going to see if I'll roll a d6 between you guys. He's going to 1, 2, 3.
I might use. Oh, it's not defensive. Okay. Just gonna use.
Yeah, he's going to
outrage.
attack. Okay, you want to
I
do
don't
that?
think I can do it out of turn, right? So.
Oh, that's right. It might be on your turn. Yeah, it looks like he's trying to go after Hunter first. When he gets to you, he comes with a single attack.
I'll use opposition, burn frenzy to use it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, only if you need it, right?
Yeah, if I can declare it post his swing. Chances, I think.
Yeah, you might be good on that one. You could
May
choose.
read opposition to make sure. Yeah, I think it
Do you
can.
get any bonus for having a shield?
Yeah, definitely
yeah.
want to add. You would definitely want to add a 6 to this bonus.
Oh, Jesus, all right.
So all it is no fumble. What are
Is
the
this
odds?
Don't say that.
This is considered a
Don't
block.
say that.
1 in 20.
About 5%. So it's just is it considered a block then with the shield?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
Definitely. And he's going to try one more time. He's going to do this one at Rat. He'll actually burn a frenzy and make this a heavy attack. And you get an additional +6 for a block. easily blocked. So he comes in, he swings, he easily bounces off the door and hefts it back and lets out a big grunt, easily throw up your
Doors.
yeah, Farthnar.
Well, Farthnar doesn't really have a shot on the orc, but he does have a shot on the man spider monkeying down the tower. So he kind of gets an arrow and do another power attack.
And this guy is gonna get a negative. That's this is a ×2 power damage. That is a down, which means he has to make a dexterity check because he's 1 inch away from a ledge. Oh, no, he's dead. Never mind. He's fallen off the ledge.
As he climbs down, Farthnar draws another arrow and lets it fly, hitting him right in the armpit of his extended arm, causing him to double over and tumbles, doing the canned scream as he falls down the gorge to his death.
And is that it for you?
That will be it for me. I'll move forward a little.
Okay. And Keltiel.
Keltiel first is going to run to try to catch up with her shield a little bit. And that was 8. And so now if she attacks, she gets a minus what?
-2. And actually, you can do more damage on Gore with your fire.
Yeah.
Never put
He
himself up.
gets another 2d6.
Yeah, ×2. Actually, it's supposed to go up, so he's on 3d6 ×3 now. I can write that out if you want. Oh, you
Need to do it.
to drop him to the ground. He's not dead yet.
All right, as he kind of collapses to the ground, Keltiel's gonna try to put some fuel on the fire.
Oh, don't worry about him.
What's... I don't think I
I
should.
can shield bash him to death.
All right, she'll focus on Raug. What's my negative for... Because I moved 8... my full move, the 8 spaces.
-2.
Is it -2?
Mm-hmm. Still good.
All right.
Avos. Fail. Oh. That's enough to knock that guy to his knees.
All right, she'll try to... I forgot to put the -2 on that, so that's probably -8. I mean, that's an 8. Hey,
Yeah.
Hit again.
got him anyway.
Oh. Oh. negative 25. What am I doing? And go ahead, and what's that look like?
So she dashes forward to get some of the cover from the door, but as she's going, she's got her hands lighting up. And first she points at the gore in front of Wrath, who redirects her at Raug, and so she points there, sort of just off the cuff, but he ignites in one place and then in another, and he's just consumed in flame and screaming.
And that is it for you?
Yeah.
Wrath, what do you...
So this guy is down on his knees.
Yeah, he's actually on his back, and he's pretty consumed in flames all around his hair, and he's trying to roll around right now and put it out. So he is...
Yeah, Wrath is gonna try to hoists up the door and tries to slam it down on the back of his neck, and I'll do a shield bash.
Awesome.
I don't know what the damage is on this for the other shield. This will be a quick attack.
Yeah, you can use the damage for
Actually,
the shield.
I'll do a heavy attack.
Awesome. Yeah, and you can use the same shield damage, and then it'll be times 2 power. Actually, major minuses for being on the ground, and why am I writing things in there? And for being on fire. To kill.
Yeah, he brings up this huge door / shield and smashes it in the back of this orc's head. It crushes the spine, and his body just, legs kick out, and is trembling for a few minutes, and then body comes still as it burns. Wrath will walk on by after he does that.
Yuya still following Wrath. Let's see.
Okay. And are you going to attack Yuya?
Oh yeah. She's actually going to kind of sling the bow, put it in her left hand, raise her right, aiming it at Bloodscream and firing an Aether Bolt at him. Ugh. Yeah, the first one kind of goes wide, hits the side of the tower, cutting into it. She exhibits frustrated again, casting.
Oh, that's more like it.
There you go. Hopefully it doesn't roll a critical.
That's going to be nasty.
Oh my gosh!
He actually dodged it.
Oh my god. Did I roll damage against the tower?
It looks like it's going to blow his head off, but you can see he trips at the same time almost and ducks, and it blows part of the pillar of the bridge, blows it off. Out. Is that it for you?
Yeah, she's a bit taken aback, knowing that should have hit. That was just kind of dumb luck on his part that he dodged out of the way. Seeing the damage that she's doing to the bridge, she puts her hand down.
And Hunter's turn.
Hunter's going to keep advancing, following in step with Wrath, picking this up, hefting it. Just going to keep pace with them as they cross the bridge.
And then Farthnar.
Let's see here. How far can I move before I get a -2?
I believe it's 4. Let me check.
4 hexes.
Yeah. Oh, it's 5 for you.
I don't know. Would that be line of sight? I can't tell. I don't think so.
Looks like it to me.
Let's see here. Yeah, you could get him.
Alright, with that, he kind of comes up behind Keltia, draws another arrow, goes for what's been working. That has been what's working. Let's see here. I can burn a frenzy for an extra action.
Yeah.
We'll do that.
And you have 3 shooting, I think. So you could get burn 2 to do a Deadeye, I believe. Or did you already use a Deadeye?
I used a Deadeye. I went arrow and then power attack for 2
okay.
3. Or is it just 2?
It is 2.
Yeah. In that case, I'm not going to spend a frenzy then. Because all I could do is get an arrow in there.
Oh, I think I erased them off of the initiative counter. So... We'll let Keltiel go first, and then he can go.
Okay. Oh, I fumbled.
Oh,
Oh, but I've got Astral Link.
Oh, good.
Oh, let me look. I've never used it.
It's 4d6 extra drain, but you get to reroll.
Okay.
Don't fumble again. I'm too close.
It's just
Yeah, I know. Okay, let me roll my 4d6 extra drain. Alright. Alright, so 18. Ha ha ha. Fumbled the damage. But I think that's okay.
All right. And are you going to go again?
Yeah, she's gonna go again.
Okay.
Oh my freaking heck!
Oh no.
I can't do Astral Link again, can I? Is it once per scene?
Yeah.
I don't remember. Okay. All right, let's get the.
Oh, Farthnar. We hardly knew you. Ooh. Aneurysm?
Oh my god.
Okay, I don't know what's going on there. That's too many words.
I think
You're having a brain aneurysm.
Oh no. Oh no. This is really bad.
Jeez, this was a bad one. All right, so
Oh shit!
How far? Oh my god.
This is so wild.
Oh no!
the spell is erased.
This is really bad.
Okay, so roll a d20 to see how far past the -15. She'll have a round to be able to be saved.
Oh my god.
Farthnar.
All right, she's gonna be knocked unconscious. So what happens here?
Okay, can you explain to me exactly what's happening here?
So the first spell fumbles, and you're able to catch it and reposition the target and throw it out again. And the second one, the mistake happens again, so the magic kind of crawls up your arms and hits you in the head, causing a lot of pain to rush through your skull. You
So
probably fall over into the.
Okay, but how many hit points do I actually lose? 22?
No, you're in -22 right now.
So it automatically takes all your hit points and then takes you into the negative?
Yeah, it basically knocks you unconscious.
Okay,
And you're gonna have to make a body save.
a body save, okay.
Farthnar catches the collapsing Keltia as he yells for you.
There's a token button up there. You can.
I rolled the body save, didn't I?
Let's see here.
Oh, I'm sorry. It says body save is 17.
Your body is 17.
Oh, okay, got
Roll
it.
was 11, I guess.
Oh, your success. Awesome.
So
If
the body save is
made.
made.
Caster's unconscious for d6 rounds, has a d20 hit points remaining. The spell is forgotten and erased, though. And you temporarily lose 75% of your body. Okay, so it wasn't as bad as the total drop.
So are you saying I can't cast Ignite ever again?
Yeah, it's erased from your memory.
What?
Can't remember how you're gonna have to relearn this spell.
Fuck, Rogue! Oh my gosh!
Unless we'll do a spiritual influence in a little bit and see if you wanna go for the spiritual influence? Try to save that spell.
Yeah. It's much easier. It's much easier, Farthnar.
Jesus.
She's knowing your level.
Oh. That's wow. That's a massive fucking beating. Is what that is.
That's a bad one. That's a really bad one.
Don't play with magic, kids.
Sheesh.
She even had the Astrolink.
Tempted fate.
Okay, so yeah, if you click the token, if you click the token, there should be a little button up there that says a cross. That's your spiritual influence. It'll tell you if it's a success.
It's a what? A cross.
It'll
Okay.
tell you it's a success. Yeah, it's a little cross.
No.
I guess the gods are cross with you.
Holy. Okay, well, I hope our enemies, is it Ignite and Douse?
Yeah, they're both tied,
Oh
so
my gosh. All right, well, I know how to make witch fire. I guess that's what I'm doing from now on.
Yeah, and you have thunder potions. So she falls to the ground, and you already rolled a d20, so we'll just take that. You have 7 hit points remaining right now. And very, very terrible head pain. And you notice the other that you were firing. He's already been caught on fire fire. He's like put himself out in the snow, and he seems like he's about to run. Wrath, it'll be your turn.
So I'm unconscious for 1d6 rounds though, right?
Is that what it said?
Yeah. So I'm
2d6
still out
round.
for 2 rounds. I'm out for 2.
Wrath begins to cross the bridge quickly, running with his shield. He's somewhat oblivious to what just happened behind him. Doesn't seem to notice. I guess that's it, because actually, can I use a quick action to... How about this? I'm going to drop the shield. That's free action, right? Just fling it off.
Yeah.
And then use... So I ran. Can I use a one action to draw my throwing axe and the other to throw it?
Yes.
And that's what he'll do. So he comes up and he just kind of pitches the shield in front of him and sees this guy looking like he wants to run. And he grabs one of the new axes off of his hip and tries to throw it end over end and hit him. He's 3 hexes away. I don't know if that matters, but...
Yeah. You'll be good. You can throw like half the distance of your strength in inches. And he's like...
It's gonna hit. Damage.
And he has 2 hit points left, which means he's not going to be moving very far.
Yeah, Wrath just throws this thing, goes end over end, just sticks right in his back. Thud.
And Yuya, hearing Farthanar yell for her, she spins around, sees Keltiel kind of collapsing, and she just lets out a scream as she runs back. She's kind of skidding into the snow beside Keltiel, grabbing her up into her arms. No, you're gonna be okay.
Keltiel's eyes are just rolled back in her head, and she's shaking like with a seizure.
She, puts a hand on her face. Ghana, please help her. Please channel your spirit through me. Please help my sister. And... Oh, that spiritual is good. Oh, 1 second. Ah!
He tried.
But she is going to try to heal her.
So Wrath looks around. Does he see any other enemies or anything?
It seems...
Kind of cutting out. Is that?
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yep, I can now.
Okay. Yeah, the magic and healing spell.
Yeah, so what's
work.
what's the darn it, what's the power? It's 5, right? No, 2d6 times level.
Aren't we level 6?
So
Level 5.
5.
Farthnar's
You guys
level
are
6.
That's right.
So 10d6 exclamation point in power.
Just use the spell effect to your heal, and then when it comes up to power, combo. Just put a 5 in there and hit enter. There we go. She wakes up.
Keltiel, you're okay.
Yuya takes Keltiel up into her arms, just kind of holding her there.
Keltiel stands up and looks around with a stumble and a dazed expression on her face. Her words are slurring despite the healing. What happened?
I don't know, you fell.
What? Where? What are we doing?
Don't worry about that. You're fine. We're almost done here. Just stay still.
She looks over to Farthnar and back to Yuya and nods. Okay. She just starts to kind of stumble forward following Yuya.
Hunter, your turn.
Hunter, seeing things that are winding to a close for the battle as it is, looks back and sees Yuya with Keltiel, and looks forward, sees Wrath after he flings an axe at this one who was fleeing, and just kind of hefts the shield, lets go of it, and draws his long bow, and then will just knock an arrow and shoot at the man who is trying to get away.
He's hit. He's at -2 hit points, and on the ground suffers -3 to defend.
My damage didn't let me try it again.
That's a kill, I'm sure. Yeah, he was like struggling in the snow. Axe still on his back, trying to get up. And then that finished.
So Hunter just launches it, and the arrow sticks in the man's back. He struggles for a moment before collapsing, and then just shoulders his bow and begins to walk back towards the rest to see what is happening.
Farthnar, assuming there's no objection, is kind of going to put Kelty in a cradle carrier and tell you there's no time. We need to get moving. We'll check on your sister soon enough, and kind of carries her as quickly as possible across the bridge since she's still so dazed and confused.
And Yuya looks like she's about to protest when Farthnar grabs her sister, but she just nods.
I just don't jostle her too much. I think something's wrong with her head.
She'll be all right.
Yuya just looks to her sister worried and follows very closely with Farthnar.
And Keltiel just reaches out and pats Yuya on the head from her position in Farthnar's carry and says, "It's okay. I'll be okay. Don't be sad."
All right. I'll make sure to pray to the moon goddess and you'll be okay.
She gives her a weak smile as she looks back at Hunter.
Hunter just puts a hand on Yuya's shoulder and kind of looks around. Let's go.
As you get to the bridge,
Alright.
you see Wrath with his own shield and blade just waiting, looking forward. What's taking so long?
Something happened.
I'm gonna get it. As Farther said, I don't know what.
Her hands started glowing and then she started convulsing and collapsed.
Well, if we can get to those caves, maybe once we're safe, I can look at her.
Keltiel keeps looking at her sister and just smiling and saying, "I'm fine. Don't worry."
And the fear that's crossing Yu's face, it hasn't been really seen before since their own house lit on fire, and she's not straying more than 5 feet away from Farthanar.
Keltiel just keeps this strangely childlike expression on her face and leans back, leans her head on Farthnar's chest as she's being carried, like kids do when you carry them to bed.
Wrath gets to the other side of the bridge and turns around, waiting. Let me see her.
Farthnar kind of stands by her and stands by Wrath and kind of swings around so he can get a good look at.
He reaches forward, puts his fingers on her temples, rather roughly, actually. He focuses for a moment, and then retracts his hand. I can do nothing for her.
We'll get it figured out.
Come into the temples. We will be able to, hopefully, determine what our next move is.
Lead the way.
Wrath actually looks to Hunter. You know this place the best, where you found me.
Hunter nods. I can try to take us back there. And we'll start leading the way.
What the fuck?
Oh. There's a tent, it said on the map. So.
I'm sorry, what is happening? Oh, Rogue fell out. And now he's back.
Okay.
You there, Rogue?
Can you
Yep.
hear me?
Yeah.
I couldn't hear what you guys were saying for a little while there.
Yeah, we just I essentially did a spiritual influence roll, failed unfortunately, and just said I cannot heal her or do anything, and then Hunter's leading us towards the caves. I think that was summary.
Yep. Also, general concern about unknown aneurysms. You okay, Rogue?
Rogue.
He's been kind of
Choppy.
In and
Yeah.
out.
It
Yeah,
has been choppy.
Rogue.
It's been choppy for me. Can you hear me?
can
Yeah.
Yes.
mhm.
It's choppy, but yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, it's going. You guys get to the tent here. Over the ledge as you're creeping up to this area. But, if there's the tent is out there, there's bones covering most of the areas. It looks like some sort of ceremony has taken place here, and you can still see somebody tied to the posts outside of the cave. And girl, red hair.
Do we want to try VC2? I know that's probably not it, but
We could try it.
as Rogue, I can hardly understand what you're saying at this point.
Yeah, you want to try VC2, Rogue?
He agreed.
Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
What the hell? Yeah.
We got Viet Cong in the wire.
Powerful wizardry.
Yeah.
What the heck?
No. Yeah.
Oh, it's going back.
It's going back.
No, it's still going in and out.
Yeah.
It's a little better, though,
Yeah.
to be fair.
Hold on. I'm going to put the server on US East. See if that helps.
Maybe that'll
Now we all fall
Yeah,
out.
let's see.
maybe you do.
Farthnar is looking at the drooling, discombobulated Keltia and the semi-nude redheaded slave girl,
It's time to trade up.
weighing his options.
Cut the tape! Which way are we coming in from here?
Okay, cool. Can you guys see this area?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you can see the tent and the bonfire. It seems like some kind of ceremony has taken place here. And the slave girl, very weak, tied to the post.
Yuya looks to the girl. Looks to Farth and... Well? Get down there!
You sure?
Hey!
Yeah, Wrath doesn't wait. He just begins walking towards the caves.
Okay, then. Farthnar kind of gently sets Keltia against, something she can lean against, and leaves her in the care of Yuya, and then heads towards the slave girl with his bow and an arrow drawn, expecting additional trouble.
Yuya's gonna take that time to kneel beside her sister and start trying to assess what happened, making a heal check. Is it a heal check to see what's up?
Yeah, you can do that. She's seeming to, come to. And unfortunately, you have no skills to fix the brain.
You can't even tell what's wrong. Her hands are shaking. She's too panicked over her sister. What happened? She can see that she's healthy now, but just the way she's acting, the way she's smiling, you can't help but just fawn over her sister.
Keltiel starts kind of batting her sister's hands away after a bit. Stop. I'm okay.
I know, but I can't tell what happened, Kelt. I don't know.
I don't know what you mean. I'm okay. And she just starts to stand up. I think I just need to walk it off.
Wait, you're not staying out of my sight. Alright? Promise me.
Okay. We'll take it slow. And she looks forward. Who is that?
I don't know. Let's go find out.
And Yuya wraps an arm around Keltiel and starts slowly guiding her down.
You guys notice there's bloody footprints in the snow that lead from the tent. There's a terrible smell coming from the tent as well, and the slave girl seems to like snap to as you guys are coming up, and seems to pull away from you at first glance. Who are you? What are you doing here? Who are you?
Calm yourself, girl. We're friends. What happened here? Farthnar kind of takes out his bone knife and starts cutting her binds or whatever's keeping her tight.
She starts to kind of weep. They were going to sacrifice me tonight. The ceremony is tonight. They said the spirits would walk through this place.
Who? Where are they now?
The witches. The witches. And the cultists. They are in the manor, I believe. Some in the cave, perhaps.
It's all right.
See, I said there were witches.
You did, sister. You're right.
Farthnar kind of looks over to Wrath and Kelty and Yuya, and he's, let's find her some clothes.
Maybe in that tent?
No. Not in the tent. Stay away from there. You too, Hunter.
Oi.
You can see as Wrath turns around, his eyes are glowing. There are malevolent spirits here, feasting on the corpses.
Oh no.
That tent smells bad.
It does. Stay away.
Yeah, as you're looking astrally through the tent, you can see these wicked-looking spirits like feasting on the essence of what remains in here of these bodies. It looks like these must have been people of Skorraey and sacrifices already that have taken place, and unfortunately, even women and children in here.
Is it possible to do some sort of exorcism on the spirits inside to... I don't know if that would do anything, but...
You don't believe so, because the exorcism is usually when the spirit is within a body. It uses push it out. A banishment might work, but you would have to have skills in conjuring to do something like that.
Yeah. Wrath just grabs one of the longer logs on the fire, walks over to the tent, and will throw it against it. There's no reason to linger here.
She's going to be very cold.
Hunter walks over and removes his cloak and gives it to the, what I'm assuming is a naked woman here. Hands it over to her.
She says, thank you. And you can see she starts to shiver, and her body feels really warm when you touch it for some reason, but she just seems really out of it, her eyes darting to and fro, and the tent goes up pretty quickly, and your astral vision is still in effect, Wrath. You notice those spirits screech and kind of dissipate really quickly, just rush off in other directions, kind of vanish.
Can I do astral sight onto the slave girl? I'm trying to make sure she's not possessed or something.
Before we have her go run back with the other villagers.
Yeah, go ahead and make.
I have that skill, right? So I have the astral skill.
Yeah. Yeah, do that.
Jesus. Awful.
Let's see here. She seems okay. Something doesn't seem right, like the aura around her body seems to kind of almost morph the colors of it. But you do get an off feeling about it, but physically and even astrally, she seems okay.
Yeah, Wrath looks at her up and down. There's something wrong with her. I don't know what.
Oh, wait.
And she kind of leaves Kelty on the care of Hunter. As she passes by him.
Let me look at you. I want to make sure you're all right.
No, stay away from her.
All right.
And he kind of slinks back.
What's your name?
Ro?
She doesn't feel like answering.
Oh no, did we lose
Suspicious.
him?
I was muted.
Oh.
She says, I checked out. She says, I can't remember. And you can tell that she has, like, the streams of some black liquid a little bit kind of encrusted on the side of her lips. Like maybe they were force feeding or something, or I don't know, but something's definitely wrong with her.
Hunter looks at her while offering a token shoulder to Keltion. Looks at the slave girl. The ones who had you here. What do they look like?
Witches, there are 3 of them. There is a dark one too, an evil wizard. He wears a mask.
And he carries the book.
Yes. Many cultists wearing robes and chanting.
What did they do to you?
She says they beat me and fed me that nasty stuff from that bowl there. And she like motions over to this kind of stone what do you call it?
Urn?
Yeah, there's the blood. Look like it's possibly mixed with something else in there.
Is that anything I've ever heard of in my time?
No, that's kind of weird and new to you.
Wrath turns and looks at Keltiel. Would she be able to try to identify that she is an alchemist, is she not?
Hi.
Keltiel just walks over. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I don't know if she's starting to feel smarter yet, so that'll totally determine the roll.
Just do a -2 on the skill roll.
What skill is this? Alchemy. It's a...
Mhm. Yeah, you notice blood mixed with different types of berries. There's definitely poison in there. It looks like, maybe some wolfsbane and mixed with many other things in there. but there's human parts as well.
She looks at it and picks up a stick and starts poking through it. Well, there's blood and poison and other kinds of poison, and then she kind of scoops up, some sort of body part or whatever with the stick and shows it. And this stuff, and she looks at the slave girl. You drank this?
You muted again?
Says not on purpose, they forced it.
Hunter grabs the urn and kicks it over. He just kicks it over. Looking through the contents of. They gave her poison.
Mm-hmm. Wolfsbane. Does Keltiel know an antidote to any of that? She's got poisons too.
Yeah, she could possibly fix something up. You have the proper skills to search the surrounding area, which could possibly help you. It would take time, of course, but
Right.
Maybe we should make sure that that cave is safe. She mentioned there might be something in there.
Witches!
Hey.
Wrath seems to be getting annoyed by this. I do not trust this one. I would slay her immediately. We must go to the caves. Now.
Wrath, we can't just... She could just be innocent. We can't...
I do not think so. Something is wrong with her. My astral sight is not strong enough to know. I need to be whole. Yuya, we must go. Fafnir. You may take this one if you wish, but I do not suggest it. You might want to take Keltiel as well. She seems changed. I do not.
I'm not leaving my sister. No. And Keltiel just starts shaking her head and getting really upset.
I can't... And she gonna put her hands on her. It's okay. She looks to Wrath.
I'll watch over the girl. If she becomes something or something happens, I'll take care of it.
All right. You and Fortner stay out here. Actually, we'll go inside. The three of us. She looks to Wrath.
Keltiel sticks her tongue out at Wrath and follows Yuya.
Yeah, Wrath just says, no. Fafnir is responsible for taking everyone to safety. That is what I have seen. If this girl is a part of that plan, then he shall do it. I need the three of you with me. If there are evil spirits inside, we must combat them together. And this is just kind of to help Walter Peck as well, right? Since he's got to step away.
yeah. And she, the slave girl, says she's very nervous, of course, of Wrath, and seems to kind of cling onto Fafnir too.
Hey, let's do that.
She kind of nods.
All right, let's make our way inside. Come on, sister.
She'll take Keltiel's hand.
She'll go forward with a kind of a pout on her face. I don't want Fafnir to stay behind.
Hey, Sonny, sleep better if he stays behind. He's a bad influence on you. Come on.
I don't think so. Bye, Fafnir.
Wrath whispers to Fafnir real quick, tie her up, and then walks past with the others towards the caves.
takes a deep breath and looks to Hunter, nodding.
Lead the way.
And you can tell inside the cave it's very dark, so whoever wants to take a torch.
I
You
would
will
strike
take a
mine.
torch.
Yep.
Yeah, I got the torch. You will put away her bow. She'll also take that poultice that her sister gave her.
You said it was a dark. You weren't kidding.
Alright, does everybody have vision here?
Minimal vision,
Limited.
but yes.
Yeah, very limited.
And if you have a torch, you can click on that torch button. It should work. Hopefully.
Hey!
Yeah.
I've seen that before.
Yeah. Thanks to chat there. This macro exists. And moving through the dark caves, you can hear running water up ahead. Quickly moving water. The wind blows through here. Howling winds. You can smell. It smells quite distant of the scent of death still. And you can tell that the air is just very, very strange in here. There have been footprints all through on the ground. You can tell the cultists have definitely been here. There's strange symbols painted in the walls on blood. Things hanging from the roof. Strange configurations of bones. Look like kind of totems. What do you guys do as you move through this area?
Hunter enters and looks to the rest of them as they come in. And if you have to speak, speak softly in a whisper. Sound gets trapped down here and goes through the whole cave.
I don't like this cave.
I don't either, but we have to
Rat-
move.
Wrath has a bad cave.
What?
This is his cave.
Wrath points to the, I guess, is it this way? You're telling me, or rogue, or some other?
Yeah.
He points in this direction. That way, Hunter. And he begins to walk. Stay with me, Yuya.
She nod.
I am not gonna leave your side there.
You notice a drop off there. Just an easy dex check. You could drop down to this area here.
Hunter will go first.
You start to notice old ruins. You bust her butt. Not enough to totally hurt yourself or anything, but
She tries to get down and lands with a thud on her back.
Ah,
Hunter will grab her and help her up, and no noise, remember.
I'm sorry.
Wrath makes the target number, but just barely.
Yeah, he's like stumbling forward. And just seems very single focused, not even looking to where he's going, just tripping over his own feet almost. This way, hurry.
Why are we hurrying?
Yeah, the sword. He needs it.
It's not safe to go so fast.
Aye, but he's not gonna stop for anyone. Oh, what?
She looks back at Hunter.
As Wrath is pushing ahead, Hunter looks at Yuya and be careful with that one.
He's not nice.
Might not be nice, but angels aren't nice.
Yes,
Like I
they
said,
are.
be careful with that one.
I meant to follow him.
Hunter pushes past her and keeps following.
Maybe he's meant to follow you.
I don't think so.
Wrath is mumbling to himself under his breath. You're not sure what he's saying. Where are you?
And you see these old, really, really old statues of strange creatures that don't look human but look almost reptilian. And you notice the water runs off into a total chasm, just disappears into the darkness. There's different stairways that lead over pits. The stairways are all crumbling. And Wrath, you can feel that presence. It's leading you to one of the stairways here that go down into the dark.
Down we must go.
Alright, alright.
And one more dexterity check down these stairs. But this one is quite a dangerous fall. Still target number 3, but yeah.
Living on the edge.
Yeah, when your Wrath's foot steps near it, you see that crumbling right next there. Falls down into darkness. But you can feel that feeling. Vengeance is getting stronger.
Yeah, he's being more careful now, but he's still plowing forward as fast as he can without doing something dumb. I think we're at the edge of the map.
And into the darkness. It takes you down quite a ways, and that's when you start to see a brighter area. Let's see here. You can see light spilling into this huge cave as it opens up into a grotto. And
Are we supposed to have sight?
I'm trying to grab your tokens real quick. Trying to move them all. Of course, I unfortunately grouped this. Okay. Can you guys see that?
I see
Yeah.
a...
Let's see.
See a boat.
It's a whole boat and a sea creature.
Let's see.
If we're not supposed to see both those sides, then I think somebody's token's just in both.
Is it too far?
Yes.
Is that better there?
Except for...
I see darkness.
yeah, he needs to be moved up a little bit, I think.
Hunter?
Yeah, Hunter
Yeah,
and...
two of them
Yep.
are-
I see Farthnar as well, so it might need to
Farthnar's gone.
get him out of there.
Get out of here. Yeah, when you guys go down into this area, you can see the light spilling through, and it lights up. There's no more need for the torches here. But you can see the old ice cave, wind blowing through. You still hear the running water. And when you get over to the edge, kind of over here, you can see there's a small boat that moves across the water. It's kind of tethered to the edge there. And far across a lake, you can see more light spilling into the cavern. So you're going to have to get onto the boat and pretty much make your way across that. But you can feel it really strongly. That feeling is just emanating from that light over there. And you feel very much like you've seen this place before.
Yeah, Wrath immediately just slings the shield up onto his back, puts his sword away, and just starts going forward. Come, come. We're almost there. The draw is strong.
I
Yuya will hop into the boat. She's kind of looking around.
and this is where it's leading you.
Oh, baby. Oh, boy.
Why is there a boat in a cave?
It's a good question, Candy.
Yeah, Wrath doesn't even seem to register for him.
You can see the old bones of the dragon as you're moving across the water, paddling towards the light spilling in. And within no time, you get to that other area of the cavern, and you can make out that tree. Now the tree isn't glowing, but you can see the light that's coming in from, the background. It's kind of making this tree illuminated. As you pull the boat up to the edge, there's a walkway kind of that runs right up to the tree over there. You notice several skeletal figures laying around the tree. One of them is holding. They're still holding weapons. Looks like a fight took place down here.
Wrath is at this point moving as fast as he can to get up towards the tree, where I'm assuming he's being drawn to.
Yuya pulls Keltiel, but she's trying to catch up, following close behind.
Wait. There could be other things here.
As Wrath is climbing, he will try to use astral sight to see what happened in the past, if possible.
Yeah, go ahead and make that check. You see the sword is in one of the hands of the skeletons. Your old sword. It has a crack in it. And you notice the horned figures laying there dead. I'm figuring you want to touch the sword and use the power?
Yes. Wrath runs over to the skeleton, grabs the arm of the skeleton holding the sword, and grips it so tight it just crumbles into dust. He rips the hilt free and raises it above his head and looks up at it, marveling as his eyes glow.
For a brief moment, you can see a battle taking place, and the light that's coming from the sword. It looks like you're viewing the fight from whoever this being was. You can see that your arms are rotten, your chest is rotten. Whatever this was some kind of evil creature, and the glow is not blue and beautiful and brilliant like it once was when you held it, but kind of a reddish tint to it, and darkened. You notice a bunch of Northmen around this figure, and he's slaughtering them and throwing them. All these warriors of Skorraey that were trying to fight this guy off and defend their homeland. You notice he kills them all, but he's so wounded that he falls back and his sword's cracked. And you can see the light, the energy leaving the sword, and it's dissipating into the air. But you notice that it grips the tree and kind of seals itself into that tree there as that being dies.
He looks confused for a moment. And he walks towards the tree, stands next to it, puts his hand upon the trunk. Are you in there?
Yeah.
He says to himself more than anything.
Yeah, you can feel her essence. She kind of must have latched on and imbued herself into something that was near and something that was more pure than what was there before. But you can feel her, like, trying to come out.
Wrath drops to his knees, just looking up, not saying anything, not doing anything.
Yuya walks over to Wrath, letting go of Keltiel.
Wrath? What happened?
I do not. She is here within this, not any. Waves the sword up. I do not know what to do. She is here. And does he have any idea how to go about what he wants to do, or is it like...
You notice as you're sitting there and you're leaning against the tree or your hand's near it, and she comes over to you, you can see her amulet kind of glowing blue, blue on her chest, Yuya's, and you can see still using the astral powers into the future, a quick glimpse of the blade and her.
He turns and leans against the tree, but it's not like he's just leaning against the tree. He's puts his neck around it as if it were wrapped around, as if he's being held by it. He's oddly trying, almost writhing against it. And he says, Yuya, I need you now.
And she steps closer, leaning down.
What can I do?
It is time for you. It is time for you to bring light to the dark. It is your destiny here today to gain more power than you have ever imagined. Stronger than me. To fight, to rid this world of evil. But you must sacrifice everything.
Keltiel had been touching the tree curiously and really kind of not paying much attention to what they were saying, but when he says something about sacrifice, she whips around. Don't hurt my sister. No. You sacrifice everything. She will sacrifice nothing.
Keltiel, wait.
She looks over to her sister.
Look, I understand you're confused right now,
And also, I'm sure if you had your senses about you,
I don't think you'd want this either, but I have to do this.
Keltiel looks at her sister. You don't have to do anything. You can't trust him. He's not nice.
That's what you...
He wants something from you that is... He wants to hurt you. He wants to take you away from me.
Keltiel, this is This is greater than you or me. This is a higher calling. This is something I need to do. This is for the goddess. It's for all the gods. I have to help him. I have to do this. This is what everything I've done is led up to.
He says sacrifice everything. You promised me. You promised you would not leave me. That you would protect me.
Keltia, this is going to be protecting you.
But you...
Keltia.
She looks at Wrath. What do you mean sacrifice everything?
Everything. She will no longer exist as she has existed before. She will become something greater.
See? He wants to kill you. He wants to take Yuya away. He wants to put something... He wants to put his girlfriend... You are a bad, bad man. You trick my sister. You are selfish. You just want your girlfriend back. Can't you see?
Keltia, enough, please. Please.
I won't let you. And she reaches for the magic that she usually has. She brings her fingers up and points them at Wrath. And she concentrates. And then she looks at her hands. I know how to do this. Why can't I remember?
It is the Maker's will. This is why you have been deprived of your powers. Everything has come to this. It is why you have been taken. It is why you can no longer fight against me. It is destiny. It is.
Keltiel just looks at her hands and she drops them at her side and she starts to cry. And she sits down on the ground and puts her head into her arms and her shoulders just start shaking.
Yuya looks down at Keltiel.
I hate the gods. I will kill the gods. They take everything from me.
No.
Everything.
Keltia, please. This is what must happen. This is what the gods want.
If you are gone, take me too. She looks up at Wrath. Just kill me. I will have nothing left.
Keltia, please. Please, I do this for you too.
You do nothing for me. You do this because you want to feel special. Because you don't know that you are special.
I know. Keltia, everything I've learned, everything I've been through, the teachings, everything. This is what it means. You have to put everyone else before yourself. I can't be selfish.
This is the most selfish thing you've ever done.
And she just shakes her head.
No, it's not. You'll understand in time.
Keltiel just shakes her head, puts her hand back down in her arms and says, then do it.
Yuya looks down to the ground, looks at Hunter, who sees next to her.
Are you planning on trying to stop me too?
Hunter looks at Yuya and looks at Keltiel and then looks over at Wrath. I don't know what kind of gods there would be. Not that I believed in them. They would want someone to be sacrificed. They could be bound to something like this. And he looks at Wrath. Are you what you say you are? Or are you a trickster?
I am exactly who I say I am. I remember the Nephilim who did the same to bring me back, vaguely, through the darkness. I am who I say I am, at least that I remember. And let me tell you this, Hunter. Certainly, when vengeance is reborn, you will have the greatest chance to destroy your brother. He looks to Keltiel. She will do nothing now. She is... just shakes his head. And Yuya, she grows strong, but only for this purpose. If she would forsake it, he looks at her. Her powers would be diminished once more, I am certain of it. But combine the three of us, and he specifically says the three of us, can destroy your brother and rid the darkness from this place. And then vengeance and I will have done our duty at last, and we will go.
I did make an oath that I would make sure my brother suffered and paid the price. He puts his hand on Yuya's shoulder. But I also made an oath that none would perish due to him anymore. If you were to do this thing, it would mean that I've broken that. And he's going to pull Yuya back and stand in front of her between her and Wrath. You can either find a different way, or you have to kill me as well.
Yuya's gonna try and push Hunter out. This is none of your concern.
It is entirely my concern.
It's my
I wouldn't
body.
be alive if it wasn't for you.
It's
If it
still my
wasn't for
body.
Keltiel.
No. I have to. Don't stop this.
If you don't want me to stop you, then I suppose you'll have to help him kill me.
Yuya looks to Wrath.
He's looking as though he's deciding what to do. Does he see Keltiel messing around over there?
Keltiel, if you have the concealment skill, you can do that. If you don't, you can make a perception check, and then it'd be resisted by Wrath's perception. Wrath would be the defender in this situation, so Taiga's the defender.
I am laying against the tree. Or not laying against it, but right next to it. Perception for me?
Yeah. So he doesn't see it.
Keltiel threw witch fire at the bottom of the tree.
Oh.
So how long does it take for me to realize this?
As immediately when it happens, it's like the tree the base of it starts to catch on fire.
Wrath will turn around and try to stab Keltia through the heart into the tree immediately.
Oh. Okay. We should do initiative then.
Oh my god.
She doesn't dodge it.
Oh.
Of course, last.
Oh, I need to clear the other ones. Sorry.
I rolled a 2.
9. What?
Oh god.
Too bad you can't jazz hands anymore.
Yeah.
Wrath, your total
2.
was what? Keltiel's total was 19. Arthur's not there. Hunter was 9. Priestess Yuya
8.
was 8. Descending. Alright, so Keltiel, we will use your actions of the fire. What do you want to do now?
She sees Wrath pull out the sword, and she just probably starts to run away.
Okay. We can use the map here. If you guys want, we'll move it closer to the tree there. I'm not sure if Keltiel was in, like, melee range of Wrath.
I don't think he would, well... I mean, we're all standing right next to the tree, but, I mean...
Yeah, I mean, she walked around to the other side of the tree, so it would depend on how big the tree is.
Okay, so she's running up towards the light, you want to say? To try to get out that way or something?
Yep.
Okay. So she's out of range of him and takes off running for her turn. As Wrath turns around to stab her. So she'd be probably up here. Running up the water and kind of an upward incline towards wherever that light is spilling out into the chamber. And then it would be Hunter's turn.
Oh boy. Well, seeing that this has devolved, he's going to try to push Yuya away, draw his spear from his back, and hold it at ready. If Wrath tries to go for Yuya or chase, he's going to react, but he's going to wait at this point, I guess. And he doesn't want to, but he knows he might have to, so he's going to wait.
So we'll do the new holding, not holding actions, but
Prepared action.
yeah.
Mhm.
And then Priestess, what would you like to do?
He just needs that push from Hunter to move towards Wrath and try to step in front of him to Keltiel. I know, in front of him, kind of blocking Keltiel. And she just looks down at the sword.
So she's, like, getting in between me and the tree? Is that what's happening?
No, she's not getting in between you and the tree, but you and Keltiel. She just kind of stands there. Not her.
Rat, the first thing he tries to do is put out the fire. He's, like, panicking, stomping, jumps on it, he does whatever, I mean, he's just... And he's screaming, his eyes are glowing. First they go blue, and then they glow red.
Yeah, you can see the flames moving upside of the tree, and you're trying to stomp it out, and your eyes still glowing. I'm going to whisper
Okay.
you something. You hear a familiar voice in your head.
Hold on, let me whisper you back. Yeah, so Wrath, realizing he's not going to be able to put out this fire, looks at Yuya. And there's a lot of, I'm assuming there's a lot of like chaos, it's just madness. He tries to grab her by the neck and run her through.
She doesn't resist.
I guess Hunter's going to do what Hunter does.
Hunter is going to try to step in and just shoulder check Yuya, and will try to take the hit himself.
Can she resist that?
Yeah, definitely. That would be an unarmed attack coming at Yuya.
I guess she'll try to dodge.
Yeah, you could try dodge.
Oof. Yuya gets knocked to the side. She looks at Hunter. Stop trying to stop this!
The blade actually has already gone through Yuya as Hunter goes up there and shoulders her. And she's still holding on to the... Wrath is still holding on to the priestess. And the blade's in her already, as Hunter can see. It's sticking out of her back when you shoulder her.
Yuya didn't even notice as he checked her.
Hunter kind of looks down, shocked that he's already shoved it to her, when she let him.
Hunter looks and takes a couple of steps back. And just stares, watching the blood run through her, looking at Wrath, and waits to see what happens.
In the background, in the distance, Keltiel had gotten some distance, stopped, turned around just in time to see Wrath stab her sister, and she just lets out a blood-curdling scream.
As this is happening, Wrath is steadying Yuya's body with his hand around her neck. He turns with the blade sticking out of her back and then thrusts the rest of the blade into the tree violently, as deep as he can.
Yuya shudders. She feels herself being impaled back on the tree. She looks down at the sword, bringing her hands up, looking up at Wrath as her face starts to pale.
You feel the blade go through you, and you feel like your life is leaving your body for a moment, and the flames are actually starting to curl around the back of the tree, and even like biting at your clothes and there's some kind of explosion of light as the tree cracks, splinters, cracks in two, divine light shooting out of it. The flames go out, and she slumps to the ground, and she's dead.
Wrath drops to a knee, looking at Yuya. Are you there? Wake up! And he begins to shake her shoulder.
You can see she's like unmoving and just staring.
Wrath waits for a moment. Looks up at Hunter and Keltiel.
You stood.
No,
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Begins to pull the blade free from Yuya. And his eyes are a boil and red flame. That's wrath. That becomes wrath.
You notice after the blade comes out of her, there's a brief moment, and the wound closes up, and her eyes start to flicker. And Keltiel, what happens? Yuya,
Wrath does not see this at first. He is staring at Hunter and Keltiel. He begins to walk towards them. He's completely oblivious, thinking this didn't work because of what they've done.
She sits up suddenly, gasping for air. You can see she's got her hand on her chest, feeling it, feeling around, feeling the skin beneath her fingers. She looks down her hands, runs one finger over them. After a moment, she gasps again, seeming to forget to breathe. Her eyes dart around the area, looking to the tree, looking to the other two unfamiliar people. And she looks up to the form approaching them. Her eyes kind of adjusting. She continues to manually breathe. There's no recognition at first. Her voice cracks. Wrath.
At first, he doesn't even hear her. He's fully engulfed in rage, which he has not felt since he's been reborn. He feels suddenly whole, suddenly what he was meant to be. He takes a step towards Hunter.
Wrath. She'll stumble to her feet.
Suddenly he stops. Turns. Looks down upon Yuya's body. It worked.
She smiles. A very familiar smile. Unlike you, yeah, but more like vengeance. Kind of the corners turned up. She looks into your eyes. It did. I am here.
He forgets everything for a moment. walking back to her, pushes the hair out of her face. I've been so alone.
As have I. I don't remember much. It is still hidden. But there is... there is another here. She taps her chest.
What do you mean?
This vessel is... it is not unoccupied. She reaches out her hands towards Wrath, touching his face. You can see her smile light up again. I never thought I'd get this chance again.
Wrath catches Hunter walking out of the corner of his eye and pulls himself out of the moment for a moment. I said Wrath, I meant Hunter. He says, "Do you want to kill your brother or not?"
Hunter shoulders his spear, wraps it back around. He looks back at Wrath. You got what you wanted. I'll go handle my business of my own accord. I don't work with abominations, and that's what you are now.
Then one day...
Who is this one?
Just looks at Vengeance. Just a human.
Vengeance looks past Wrath for a moment, looking over at Keltiel. You. The sister.
She tried to kill you.
Keltiel starts to walk slowly down, kind of circling around, keeping a distance, staring at Vengeance. You're still in there. I can feel you. And the fog in my brain, it's gone. You betrayed me, sister. You broke your vows to me.
She was always meant for something greater. This, she is content.
I cannot believe anything you say. You are a liar just like him. A deceiver. You deserve each other. And sister, you have chosen your fate.
Vengeance gives a bit of a shrug to Keltiel. That is fine. She will be disappointed to learn of you turning her back on her, what she's believed in, but fly away, insect. Do what you must.
Keltiel turns to Hunter. If you'll have me, I will help you with your brother.
Hunter nods and goes to...
If I find your bodies, I will burn them. For your assistance getting this far. So you do not become what you despise.
I don't think I'm going to turn into you anytime soon. Keltiel just starts heading back out of the cave.
Do you you want to go with the hunter and take the boat, or
Yeah.
okay? And the vengeance and wrath, are you gonna walk towards the light?
Yeah, now that they're leaving, he seemed to calm down a bit. He turns to Vengeance again and puts his forehead to hers. We'll never be parted again. Let them go. We will return to our former state and drive the darkness from this world and all others.
Vengeance closes her eyes, presses into wrath. Yes, we will make sure to destroy the darkness on this earth once again, arm in arm. Though this form is weak, frail, I do not feel as I once was before. There is something missing.
Yes, we have been reborn into that of mortal form.
Disappointing. She'll look at her arms, again feeling the skin. Soft. Pale.
Do not worry, my love. Eventually we shall ascend once again into all our splendor. And he takes her hand and begins walking towards the light.
And as they walk towards the light together, they kind of dissipate out of the cave into another location that we'll find out later. And Hunter and Keltiel make their way back on the boat, kind of a quiet journey back across the lake over the old dragon bones and through the waterfall cave, just in time to see the ranger kissing the slave girl. She's kind of wrapped around him, and he seems quite happy, maybe even dumbfounded. But you can see she turns towards you, and on her token there, you can see her face shifts into something much more horrible than what he sees, and the camera fades to black. That is it for tonight.
Oh my gosh.